morning, guys. Welcome to Hedgehog's Homestead. Today, it's Christmas time, hence the Christmas sweater. 2 weeks until Christmas. But we are moving July 10th. So we are busy packing, and so this weekend, instead of wrapping presents and doing all the fun stuff that everybody else is doing, we are gonna get on it and get packed. And so since we are, we're gonna make some cinnamon rolls. Some cinnamon rolls that taste a lot like Cinnabon. There we go. So we're gonna get on that so that we have breakfast ready for us in the morning, so we have no excuses to make breakfast and do all this stuff and all that stuff. So we're gonna get on making our cinnamon rolls, and I'm gonna show you guys how. So come on, let's get this done. Okay, so first we are gonna start with our water, which is 1.5 cups of water. That's first. And then to that, we are gonna add, I use this kind of yeast, I keep it in my freezer. And we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of yeast. So that's 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons. I know this yeast is active. You can already see it working. What you want to do is it's up on the edges, so I know it's active. If you don't know if your yeast is active, you want to do a yeast test. But you're just looking for it to see how it's starting to foam up and do all that. That's what you're looking for. It's good to wait 5 or 10 minutes to make sure that you've got a good active yeast. For the lack of time, and I know that this yeast is good because I just used it in some rolls. We made some Texas Roadhouse rolls. So if you're looking for that recipe, I'll leave that in the description, as well as this recipe. I'll also leave it in the description for you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and whisk that really good with my paddle. So this is the paddle, okay? And then to that yeast, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar. This is a sweetbread. So that's also gonna help activate my yeast. Just kind of mix that around real quick. And then 4 cups of flour. And messy marble. Put it in this bowl so it's easy to get stuff inside there. Actually, I'm going to use my and I'm going to add about half of my flour. And I'm just going to bring that up. Now, I'm not making a dough quite yet. I just want to get all my ingredients together. So I'm going to mix these up first. Okay, and since I have that partially mixed, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of dry milk powder. And I just buy this on Amazon, this brand right here. It has worked wonderful for me, and it's just a powder that you keep aside for baking like this. So 3 tablespoons of milk powder. Your bowl when you're doing this. And what else do we need in there? 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, just for, this is just something Cinnabon does too, is just add a little cinnamon taste in that breading. So just a little teaspoon of cinnamon. And then we're gonna add our vanilla. We have 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Two generous teaspoons of vanilla. I love vanilla around here. And then we're gonna do 2 teaspoons softened butter. So I have softened butter here. And my little container has a little measuring thing on it. So it's easy to just go there. Like 2 teaspoons. Also got that on Amazon. It's the Loctite series. A tablespoon or tablespoon of honey. Okay, so that's all our ingredients for the dough. I'm just going to mix this together. Let's basically mix those ingredients just like that. We're done. Now we're going to take off the paddle and put in our dough hook and then slowly start adding the rest of our flour. You don't have to add, get all of it. You just want it to, so I have 4 cups of I have 4 cups of flour in total. And so in my dough hook. I'm secure. Put my bowl back up. I know it's what I want when it starts to pull away from the sides of the bowl. It makes a ball. Makes a ball. I'm going to let it mix together for 4 minutes. I'll scrape it here so I can get it all in there. Just going to kind of push it down. It seems kind of dry, so I'm not adding any more flour. More than a cup of flour left. I can always add more if I need to, but it's looking a little on the dry side, so I'm not going to. Siri, give me 4 minutes on the timer. You never want to add too much flour because you can't go back. You can't go back if you add too much water, but too much flour is one of those things you can't really come back on. And while that's mixing all together, I have a cube for my frosting. This is part of the secret in the frosting. A cube of Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm going to add my salt in there. I'm about to add my salt. You can do that at last minute as long as you still have some mixing going on. You don't want to add that salt next to that yeast, okay guys? This is the big trick with cooking. As you'll see this list, you always want to add the salt on top of your dough and have it mix in together, because otherwise your salt will kill your yeast. So I'm also taking out 2 cubes of butter for later. We have our cinnamon for the topping, our butter for the topping later, and brown sugar. And that's all that goes, not in the topping, in the filling. And we're going to put the pecans on top of it. Okay, timer just went off. So we're going to take this, our dough hook, it comes off really easy. Okay, now we're just going to take this out. I'm just going to form it into a ball on my table real quick. Push that aside. Just a little bit of flour on the counter, so that's good. And I'm just going to, you can see that cinnamon in there. Just make a nice little ball. You don't want to overwork your dough. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Just kind of getting the feel for it. Making a nice little disc in there. See, we've got a nice tight ball on it, and that's what you wanted to do. We're gonna let it rise for an hour. I have a bread proofing setting on my oven. You can also just put it in a warm place, close to a fire. If you're gonna do close to a fire though, put a moist tea towel on top. I'm going to go ahead and just put saran wrap over this since it's going in an oven with the bread proofing setting on. Another good place is on top of your refrigerator. That's a nice warm place. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in my bread proofing. We're going to let it rise for an hour. You want to see it double. And I always put a little oil in my, so it doesn't stick. I put it top side down first, swish that around, and then I turn it over and put it in my pan. And while this is rising for an hour, clean up my kitchen, do some dishes. Hi guys, we are back and our dough has risen to more than double the size. It's dropped actually a little bit since I took it. I'm just going to punch this down now, and we're going to take it out of the bowl and get a rolling pin and get out just a little bit of flour. Now this is the fun part, guys, where we roll it out and put the magic in the middle. So just a good little dusting of flour. So we're gonna take this out with a handy dandy spatula here. And just gonna start stretching this out. I'm actually gonna get a rolling pin. Like so. And you're making it into a nice rectangle shape. Try to make it as rectangle as possible. Okay. So it's pretty good, but I had it cattywampus on the okay. There we go, nice and thin. Got distracted by my doggies, and we're just going to spread this butter all over, nice and thick. Because you want that brown. So what you do when you melt it too fast, you use that meltation to your meltation. You use that melting to your advantage. Okay, there's a nice glaze of butter on there. Okay. Now, I don't have exact measurements for this, but I'm going to put a scoop there. That's and a scoop there. And then you get a fork. Just kind of spread it around. This is going to have a lot more layers because it's nice and thin. So there's probably about 1.5 cups of brown sugar on here. I just put a little extra, so I don't have that much on this end. You really want it to coat all your bread. Okay. And this I don't have measurements for. I just sprinkle it all over. Just an even layer across the whole thing. There we go. And then we just start rolling it up. I wonder why my cameras always get all sticky. I washed my hands before I did this. And just roll it up as tight as... But I'm only going to put on half So I'm kind of gonna go down the middle and I try to pull out the sides a little bit. See how it's getting kind of thin on the ends? We'll just pull those out a little bit. Because the dough is plenty thick enough to do that. Look at those, beauty. Just kind of tuck those up a little bit. Okay, so this side has a couple thin pieces on it on the dough. And then these lovely bench scrapers. Gonna get our spray. Like so. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these in even pieces. A lot of people like to start in the middle. I find that I don't do even pieces that way for some reason, so I just do it this way. I think it's easier for me to eyeball it that way, but you do it the way that you like. A lot of people just go eyeball the middle, or even measure the middle, and get out a measuring stick and do it that way. You do what you're comfortable with. Okay. Then we take those, just start putting them in. And in the smaller pan, we put 3 across. And across. It's probably because I cut them a little bigger, and that's fine. Even this pan's going to be a little bit on the big side, but that's okay. And we have a little bonus piece we'll just put on the end there. Now I'm going to put saran wrap on this. This needed to be wrapped in the oven for an hour. Let it rise, do a second rise, and then we'll bake it for 25 minutes. Okay, so our oven is at 350. And that's what our cinnamon rolls look like. I'm going to take the saran wrap off. And put them in the oven. And put them in the oven for about 25 minutes. Those on top of it. Siri, give me a timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes, starting now.
Okay, that's done. Bring the bowl down. Bring this all together. We're just going to fold this to combine it. Siri, show me my timer.
The timer has about 9 minutes left.
Okay. Can't play with the dogs right now. I'll be done in just a few minutes. Okay, and that's all folded in now. There we go. Okay. Which one you want? Oh, that's in, and you can see. It's these ones.
That one.
You want that one?
Yeah.
Your little eager beaver.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah. Well, they always turned out before. Ooh. That's when I want it.
Yeah.
Look at that gooey center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Looks really good. Go at it.
Go at it. Tell us what you think.
That was really good.
Really good?
Mm-hmm.
Does it taste like Cinnabon?
Better.
Better than Cinnabon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna have one too.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I like them warm, so I gotta have mine too now. I'm having the one with the pecans in it. Mmm. Yummy. Perfectly cooked. Mmm.
I think I've had them. If I could record now.
I'm still recording, but that's okay. Go ahead.
I don't remember. I think I've had them when you've made them before, but this is the best ever.
Give this recipe a try. Obviously, it's good. God bless you and see you next time. Bye.